Hey, welcome everyone. I'm Dave from Advantage Home Health. I'm going to be talking today about the Q6 Edge from Pride Mobility. It's their Quantum line, it's their rehab line. And this is going out to a customer, but we thought we'd talk about it first before doing delivery. So there's some specific things on this chair, but the nice thing about this rehab power wheelchair is that it's completely customizable for the client. We'll start with the base. It has 6 wheels to the ground, 2 rear casters, 2 forward casters, and the mid wheels are the drive wheels. It's a center wheel drive system, so if you notice, it's just going to turn in place. And so these are great for chairs that need to be indoors because it has the tightest turning radius. It also has a fantastic suspension system to deal with outside. And they've now added the smooth ride suspension to it, where it is now a strut instead of a spring that controls the suspension system. A really good thing we said about this power wheelchair is the customizability to it. This chair can be shrunk down to 10 inches wide or go as wide as 22 inches. And so we're really working with a wide range of people. Also, the way that they've set up their track system along the rail here, which I'll show you the seat rail, in here, going all to the depth in that, is I can really either reduce the depth or increase the depth as needed for the client. And when the client's going to be coming in for the final fitting, we're going to be moving this back around to hit them sort of ideally where they need it to be. Some of the standard features that come with the power wheelchair are fender lights, as you see when I turn them on here, down at the bottom. And also you can get an LED package as an upgrade. They come with a standard USB charger to be able to just charge all your electronics while you're out and about. And this typical speed, maximum speed is 10 kilometers an hour with this chair. This client has asked for the upgraded high-speed package, which takes it up to 11.5 kilometers. It's quite like a jogging pace for the people beside the power wheelchair, so it's quite a good speed. So some of the best features that you can get on this chair is all the power seating options. This chair has most of those power seating options on it that we'll go with. Pride Mobility has a very nice feature called eye level. And now Layla has joined us to help me demonstrate the importance of the different seating features that are on this chair. So, Layla, if you want to start into the eye level, this is basically called seat elevation. It's going to raise the client up 11 inches, almost a foot. And there's 2 really main reasons, benefits for this. One, you can just access your environment more. You know, you just have the ability to engage your environment at different heights now and reach different things like maybe the upper kitchen cabinets or something along those lines. But it's also really good from a social aspect, a peer-to-peer relationship, that we're talking at the same level. And so people don't always feel like they're being talked down to all the time. It's really important for clients and what we're kind of doing today. So if we can now get back out of that, we'll go down and we'll show you, there's other seating features like tilt, recline, there's even power elevating leg rests. They aren't on this chair. And then there's even anterior tilt. And those are the different power seating functions that are available in the Quantum line. This client required tilt and recline as well. So that's tilt right there. Yeah, we'll go back. What's really nice is Layla is going to go back almost 50 degrees in tilt. And so, what the benefit of this is to offload the pressure that's been going on for so long, as you sit for a long duration. Keep going. We put the weight on the back of the client, and that allows proper circulation and blood flow that's happening throughout the lower extremities. So we'll come out of that. If you notice, it's really nice and smooth and quiet in that. So that's probably good right there. And then we'll just you're just going to open up the backrest angle, and this is called recline. And again, this is just sort of helping clients reposition throughout the day, and they'll use that in combination with the tilt and maybe even the seat elevation. A lot of times, you know, people get power elevating leg rests to work almost like a recliner lift chair that is in a power wheelchair. So we'll come back up on that. And sometimes it might be just for stretching and mobility and range of motion that they require throughout the day. You know, we all actively just get up and we move around, or we reposition ourselves naturally in the chairs, but our clients need to have the ability to have assistance in the repositioning and the changing of their positioning throughout the day. Pride Mobility is proudly built in Canada, and another wonderful thing about this chair is all the vibrant colors you can get with it. I know the client has chosen black. They were very close to choosing red. They were thinking about it, but there's every color under the rainbow and some custom colors that you can choose from to really shape this and customize this to your personality and liking. Say like this is the center wheel drive system directly over the client's center of gravity. So both the casters and the drive wheel have options for pneumatic or solid foam-filled tires, as we call it. Most of the time the clients are choosing foam-filled tires, so they don't have to worry about having a flat out in the community somewhere. Some clients that require a little bit more absorption, or the jarring around in a power wheelchair is a little more sensitive for them, so we then recommend the pneumatic tires to allow them to cushion on top of the suspension. Sometimes that could also be helped through just getting a specific cushion for the client as well. These are the gas struts now that are in the suspension system, not only in the front. But the rear caster suspension as well. For technicians, we generally have to access the batteries that are underneath. So we just flip the leg rest out of the way. Pride has done a wonderful job in just using this clamp system. And now we can just access the batteries and pull them out and work on them and then put them back in. For the technical aspects of adjusting the width and depth, we're just going to look at the seat frame a little bit and show you how that's done. So we take off the client chosen cushion. And you'll see here, it has 22, which we're setting this at 22 wide. It also reduces down to 10 inches, and it will be achieved through these plates moving and sliding over each other. For the depth, we're working along this rail system here, and that's how the backrest is connected to the base of the chair, and we can move this whole backrest assembly forward and backwards as the client is needed. So we really get to customize the chair fitting to the client. Again, Pride Mobility does a wonderful job with its armrests. If you notice how much adjustability throughout the system, all the way up to the joystick and how it can swivel, we can really work with where that client needs the joystick to be for them to drive it properly and safely. You know, it's different heights, depths, angles, widths, even, you know, basically all access points. We can adjust and work with the client to really dial in a chair that's fitted for them. For everyone's information, there are manual releases to the chair, so you can manually push the chair if needed, or there's just different reasons why the chair needs to go into neutral. They're well identified with these yellow markers here, and you just put it into neutral on each side. There's one motor for each drive wheel, and now I can just push the chair. So sometimes we want to move the chair while it's not on, or it just needs to be moved in some better way, done in a manual way, and so that's possible. And all you're doing is you're putting them back into drive when you're done, turning the chair off and back on to reset, and it's ready to drive. We just quickly want to mention the tie-down points for the power wheelchairs. They're here and they're here. These ones are for unoccupied use. So when you want to load up the vehicle, it into a vehicle, you can then use tie-down clamps. And you can also upgrade to where you have transportation certified tie-down points, whether you're using Access Handybus or another form of even private type of transportation, that it'll work for the client and the situation. This red dial allows us to quick release the headrest off, and the stopper mechanism allows us to set the headrest at a certain height, so it's the exact same time each time. We have lots of adjustability through the headrest, either multi-axle position against the pad, or in what we call the horizontal neck, there's also multi-axle positioning, and this headrest can also be flipped. We adjust all this through Allen keys, which are pretty typical in our industry. For the leg rests, they're marked with the gray release pin here, which allows us to swing away the leg rest and take it off. We put it back in at the 90 degree and then swing it back into place. To adjust the leg rest, we're taking off the protective padding for it and adjusting these two screws, again with Allen keys. If you notice here, we can also change the angle of the footrest from 60 to 90 degrees, again to really help position the legs properly for the client. These are the expanded electronics that come with the power wheelchairs, and it was what required when needing power seating features on top of that. We just flick it easily forward to turn it on, and that helps for people with any sort of limited hand function to be able to operate that. We have quick buttons 1 and 2 that quickly go to the different screens. 2 is for seating, and I can go right there, and then quick button number 1 takes you back to the first profile drive. We can also go scrolling up. It's changing between the different settings of the speed into our resource page and now into our seating, which we can control left and right and scroll through the different seating power options there. You can also scroll through all your different profiles into your seating and back again just by flicking the on-off button forward. So we're now in indoor moderate, outdoor fast, and now we're getting into our auxiliary page that controls some settings and into our seating. And now that we're into our seating, we use the joystick to kind of control the functions. So we'll scroll left to right to choose between the different features that the client wanted. These both yellow items, that indicates tilt. The single back is for recline, and the single seat is for seat elevation. If he had power elevating leg rests, that would then light up next. And instead of just scrolling, they can just use their quick button and go back to their driving.